Hi folks, today it's LTD time. Now, before I go any further, I must remember, please like and subscribe. I've remembered for once. Normally it's 20 minutes later. Anyway, this I bought many years ago. This is a LTD M103-FM, made in China, and possibly the cheapest, it is definitely the cheapest guitar I have. And I love this thing. I play this all the time. I use it a lot with guitar lessons when I'm teaching because it's nice and simple. Black dots on a maple fretboard so my students know what I'm doing. There's no point showing them something with no dots and no markings or vine inlays or whatever else. That's just a big no-no. Anyway, I bought this one, it must be 6 years ago, and I bought this used. Story being, I was actually in Glasgow at the time looking for a Fender Strat. Ideally an HSS Fender Strat, because I do like having a humbucker on the bridge. And I tried quite a lot. I went to numerous shops, didn't find one I liked. And I was heading back to the train station and I went into Kenny's Music in Jamaica Street. And quick went round all the Strats. Nothing really grabbed my attention. And this was hanging on the wall in the sort of used department. And they wanted about £150 for it, which was a bargain. Anyway, I kind of looked at it and thought, well, it's got a humbucker on the bridge and it's got 2 single coils, so it might do the job. And then I plugged it in, and I remember plugging it in clear as day. I think it was a little Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister they had, and it just sounded fantastic. And this did everything I wanted. It wasn't an Ibanez Wizard flat neck. I had the HSS, and I didn't care about the price. I went with enough money to spend, quite a decent whack on a guitar. And this was £150. But I didn't care about that. I didn't think, I must spend £600 or £800. I picked it up, I played it, and I thought, this is really nice. Anyway, I'll go through the spec. I'm going to do this fairly quick. It has a Floyd Rose Special. Not the fanciest of Floyd Rose, but it's still a Floyd Rose, made Floyd Rose. It's not made under license by somebody else. And it's okay. I'll say it's good. It's solid. It's not as good as the 1000 series. It's maybe not as hard wearing, but in tuning stability, it's still very good. Now, my only problem was the locking nut on this. Not the fault of the locking nut as such, but somebody had over-torqued it and they had stripped the threads. So I had to get a new one of those. I didn't realise that at the time, but when I got home and I was playing it, I thought, it's not holding tuning the way it should. However, it was 10, 11 euros, something like that, for a complete new locking nut. Oh, hello cat. I've lost the train of thought now. Okay, 10, 12 euros for the locking nut. It was a 10-minute job to fit it. Easy. Simple fix. Anyway, spec-wise. So we've got the Floyd Rose, we have a volume, we have a tone, we have a 5-way selector, we have a humbucker, own brand, it's branded as ESP pickups. We have a single and a single. So it's a quintessential Super Strat. Into the neck, maple neck, scarf joint, reverse headstock, which is way cool. Sorry, somebody my age shouldn't really say that. Anyway, it's got a bit of a Kirk Hammett vibe about it, but it's not a Kirk Hammett signature, which is okay in my book. And I like the ESP style headstock when it's reversed. I'm not so keen on them pointing down the way, but I do like this as a reverse headstock. The string pull on these is nice and straight as well. It's not like the Jacksons where you end up with them going at a crazy angle. So that's well designed. Really is a good design. Now, the thing that really grabbed my attention was I'm normally an Ibanez player, and my premium Ibanez guitars have got that circle fret edging. The edges of all the frets are this beautifully rounded, polished finish. And that was the very first thing I noticed with this. It has the same circle fret polishing. The fretwork on this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, so I was picking up a £150 guitar that had the neck feel and the fretwork feel of my £1,000 Ibanez premiums. It was just shocking. So I thought, well, okay, let's try it. Basswood body, flame maple top. It's called the M103-FM for flame maple. However, I don't think there's much flame maple involved other than maybe either the thinnest laminate or a transfer. Doesn't matter. It's got a little bit of a kind of grey to black flame about it. Not much, but it breaks up the all black and it hides a bit of the finger marks. Never been a fan of pure black guitars for that reason. They just look all smudgy. I like the fact that it's an all maple neck. And the maple fretboard, maple neck. It looks really nice. 24 frets. Tick. That's my box of 24 frets. And it's this 4-bolt system. Not the easiest for upper fret access, but it's not a problem either. And it's actually quite a cool looking guitar. For an entry level instrument, I think it looks great, it feels great, it hangs really nicely. And I've ended up using this guitar for more kind of blues jams and kind of mixed, assorted music gigs. I've got this one set in standard E tuning. I don't use it in my heavy rock band because we play in D, but for anything where I've just to grab a guitar and go join other musicians, I grab this every time, and I'll go through why. Sound wise today I'm using the Jet City because this is a rock guitar. I'm not going to spend much time going through clean tones, and it's going into the Harley Benton 4x12 today for a change with the Celestion Vintage 30s. Anyway, the Jet City doesn't really do a clean sound, so I've got a bit of a crunch. But that lets you hear a bit of the dynamic range of these pickups. So, get comfy, and if you think, oh, it's Kirk Hammett-y, I've got a wah-wah if I need to. Yeah, it's a Behringer wah. I did a video on that. Before I go into this, I did a video on the Behringer about 3 years ago now. And it's the most viewed video I've ever done. And I still use that pedal. I actually find the Behringer wah has been absolutely bomb-proof reliable. And yeah, so if anybody's watched it and wondered, oh, that was just a flash in the pan. No, it's down there. It's the same pedal and I've never touched it. I was going to do some sort of mad mods with it, but I've kept it the same. Anyway, bridge. Everything else is off. No delays, no effects. Just a straightforward rock crunchy. Now, that was the first thing that grabbed me with this. These are quite bright pickups. They're clear. Even the humbucker is nice and punchy and clear. And personally, I would always rather have a slightly bright pickup than a very muddy pickup. I can do something with the bright pickup. I can wind it back if I want. But with something that's very sludgy and muddy, I can't. Now, I mentioned on an Ibanez guitar thing that I did, that I'd kept the pickup stock, and that's because they worked really well, the Ibanez INFs in that guitar. And all my other ones, I've changed the pickups because they were muddy, dull, they weren't very inspiring. These are absolutely brilliant and do the job great. So position 2 is one of the coils of the bridge humbucker and the middle coil. And that's a very usable sound. It's your very pub band, Skinnerdy kind of. That kind of thing. Does that kind of country southern rock thing nicely. Middle coil, centre, I don't use that much at all. The single coil on its own, but it works. It's a clear single coil sound. Position 4 is that stratty, out of phase, middle coil and neck together. Now you do hear that the level has dropped considerably. This is clean. Compared to the bridge. So this makes this guitar incredibly usable for gigging, because I don't need to do anything with the pedal board. I don't need to reduce gains. I can kind of keep it the same for a lot of stuff. And then when I want something a bit more rocking, I just flick it to the bridge. So yeah, very usable. Position 4. Into the neck, the single coil there. I really like the neck sound in this. Back to position 4. Middle on its own. Position 2. And the bridge again. So there you go, all the sounds. Really versatile, really nice to play, and copes with gain really, really nicely. Because they're quite bright and punchy pickups, there's no sludge. These things just riff away great, and I'm going to do that. I'll go to the lead channel and I'll just play some bits and pieces for you. Try and find these. They're not expensive guitars. They weren't expensive new by any means, but these are absolutely brilliant. So high gain, bit of fun. I'll put the Triumph on. I tried that. Have a look. Warmth or Triumph. I love the thing. There's no point in me going through all these different sounds with loads of gain because you really will hardly use that. You'll tend to go bridge, neck, so it'll be rhythm playing, lead playing, back to the bridge, off you go again. So there you go. Please like and subscribe. I said it at the start this time, I'm saying it at the end. I've kept the video shorter. Not a guitar you can buy new. I would honestly still go and try out the budget LTD guitars. I know I tried the 400 series, which was the painted neck and neck through. Granted, I'm not a fan of painted necks, but I didn't buy one. I preferred this. £150 into a Jet City that I paid €200 for, and okay, the cabinet's a bit dearer there, but here's a Harley Benton 2x12, plenty good enough to gig with. That was €100 used. So you're looking at 100, 200, €300 plus £150, so €170. Under €500 for a complete gigging rig. It's amazing. And I will honestly grab this and play this as often as one of those over there. That Jackson there, there's the Gem, there's the Kramer, there's a Japanese Jackson, Red Beach model, there's a Boel. I'm going to talk about the Boel at some point. It's a beautiful guitar. EVH, yeah, bargain. Have a look for these. Seriously, have a look for these. If I see another one of these, I'm buying it. Even if it was €200, I would buy it. These are great. And anyway, like and subscribe for the third time today. Numbers are growing, and I'll have something again for you soon. So, bye-bye.